So maybe we're good now. Check and see. Anyway, Josh getting that all fixed up there. Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties in that start too. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to have to start off with Kyle. It's been 3 or 4 years since you've been here, right?
Yep.
So you've walked around quite a bit and stuff like that. What's kind of most interesting? What'd you see? What did you find here at the PRI show? I put you on a spot too much.
Yeah, you did. It's just there's just so much different motorsports here. Just, from drag racing to IndyCar to dirt track cars. It's just a lot. It's a lot of fun to see just everybody, different motorsports and things they do and all of that. So.
Okay, I got to back up for a minute, Kyle. I guess when I was introducing you earlier, we had no sound, so I have to get you introduced. Kyle Smith drives this alcohol funny car.
Yep.
He's based out of Wichita, Kansas, and we're a great partnership with him and his dad and John. And we got his car in the bay here in our booth. It was fun getting it in here, but that's okay. It took a little bit, but and it was cold outside.
It was cold. I had to get a little bit creative to get over the hump there, but
we got
her done.
too.
This thing's a low rider. It's tricky to get around certain places. So.
Yeah. So anyway, Kyle, again, thank you and your dad and John for being here. You've been a great partnership and stuff with what we do here and help us here in the booth and stuff. But it's also fun to have your car here. You've been getting here. You just got another picture taken of the hot rod from that part. So back to again, since I cut you off. It's been 3 or 4 years since you've been here. This place amazes me how big it is. And I still say that if you would take all 3 days and walk the whole thing, you couldn't walk in 3 days. That's how big it is. People don't fam until you've been here.
I agree. For us, I'm sure we've missed a lot. We tried to hit some of our vendors that we use and just, kind of face to face and refamiliarize, see if there's any new products they have or things. So it's just been really good from that aspect. So.
Yeah, it's I had a few things I wanted to hit and look at and stuff like that too. And Nick, we've kind of picked up a couple more, vendors or that kind of thing too. Yep. So what did you guys get from the show? What do you think's been exciting and all that kind of stuff?
Well, there's a lot of new products coming this way for 2024. A lot of cool stuff. Hopefully that we're going to be involved with. It's just really neat to be. This is kind of the place where every company unveils the new product of the year. So if you're here, you get to see it before anyone else gets to see it, and be a part of that and get your first orders in.
Okay, so what did you see that new? What did you see was new?
Well, obviously, our new Hoosier tire. That's been a big one for us.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Again, it has been a big hit. So talk about what you did with Hoosier and the new no prep tire.
So for a couple years, 3 years, I've been begging them to build this tire. 2 years,
probably
2 or 3 years. Been begging them to build this 28-inch tire, kind of existing off of what they already had, and change the compound a little bit, change the sidewall up a little bit. And I knew it was going to be, I was hoping it was going to be a home run, and so far it has been. It's been a great seller for us. Positive feedback with every single pair that I've sold. I've never had someone say, oh, this one didn't work for us or didn't do this. So
we still haven't actually done an official press release on it, or Hoosier Corporate hasn't done it either. So it's all really been word of mouth. And
Yep.
So anyway, it's a no prep tire, but kind of tell everybody, if you switch this tire, what are you gaining? What do you got? What's happening there that helps the car go?
Yeah, the tire's got a lot more teeth to it, so it's got a lot more bite. The compound is a lot softer. The sidewall is a stiff sidewall, so it's allowing guys to run a little bit more air than we used to with our other tire to achieve better goals, better 60-foot times than we were with the traditional CO7 that we had before. So this is a DO5, which is the softest rubber that Hoosier has put on a drag tire.
What's that DO5? Yes, I hear all these numbers: CO7, 655, 436C. Dip. What does all those numbers mean?
So I don't know when they actually started that or why they changed so many different numbers from C's to D's, and then you get into some of the dragster tires, and you got C1350, 1450, 2020, 2055, 2021, like it's on the Alcohol Funny cars and top dragsters and stuff.
Okay, so let's do this for a minute. Kyle's tire in the back of his car is about twice the size of that tire.
Oh, about 4 times the size of that tire.
Okay, so now my question would be is the material that makes up Kyle's tire versus the material that's making up that tire is what different?
That one, the small tire is a ton softer. His tire, I think mainly because of the size, the profile of the tire, the softer sidewall, like using the sidewall on these cars a lot more to have the bite, where we use our shock and the rubber on the tire, is completely different. So it's a whole strategy theory, I think, different.
A lot of material changes in those tires. Obviously the funny car tire, the funny car has, 4,000 horsepower going to those tires, where a big time small tire car would be,
2,500.
Yeah. So
you're seeing it a lot more. You're seeing, like what me and Kyle talking, the new
they're
small
getting more
tires,
powerful
4,000
for sure.
horsepower.
But Hoosiers really, you just use different materials to make up those rubber compounds to make, these tires more aggressive. Well, they'll work with this lighter car and the bigger horsepower and different construction techniques in the carcass of the tire itself.
So Kyle, how many passes do you get before you change a tire?
We like to put about 30 on a rear set. That seems to be a good number for us. You do start to see for us, where we see a tire going away is in the 60 foot. You start to say,
You can see that, and then you know it's
the
time.
The numbers
will tell you it's time
yeah,
to change that tire.
Get a little bit slower.
So when you're saying 30 passes, so on a weekend, how many passes would you make? Trying to think that
at a national event, if you go to the finals, you're going to make 7 passes.
Okay, so you got about every 5-6 weekends you're going to put a tire on the back of that car.
So, now
I wish we had that in our car, Nick. We tell the 60 foot time getting slow, we got to change the tire.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So let's say you're at an event, right? And you made it to the final round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say you got 21, 22 passes on that set of rear tires that's on there. And you're up against somebody that's tough, that you're really going to have to run them hard. Now, will you take those tires off and go put a new pair on just to get you that extra edge and that one last run?
Honestly, no. So there is a couple run break-in period on those rear slicks.
Okay.
If you took a new slick on versus I'm going to use a 5-run slick, and you put the same tune-up in it on the same conditions, the new slick probably is not going to make it. There is a break-in period. So for us, the first one, it's more get a good burnout in, get it broke down. But usually after a couple passes, they're ready.
So how do you time that 5-lap break-in period there with obviously you probably put them on before you go to an event or when you get to an event?
It's very tough, for us being maybe a smaller budget team. Some of these guys have 3 or 4 sets of wheels with tires on them, so for them they can kind of jockey them.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we have 1 set of wheels and tires, so we kind of have to be a little strategic. We may give up a qualifier run that he'll back it down a little bit so it'll go on the new tire, but that's kind of for us in a low buck team situation. That's kind of how we manage that. It's not always ideal.
Right.
So anyway, back to my question. The tires are so much bigger, but they're really not the same material.
No, just the general construction, like Nick said, the sidewalls on his are a lot softer than the sidewall on this tire. The rubber compound on the small tire is more aggressive than the rubber compound on his.
But you're always on a prep track though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be able to get that amount of horsepower, the grip to get down the track. Where you're talking about your tire is going out on a
bad back of the track stuff. We do a lot of there's a lot of cities that
I don't want to say street racing, we might as well just get it out there.
Well, it is, and there's a lot of cities that put on legal street race events now. We do a lot of them in Oklahoma and Texas and stuff, and so it's getting more and more popular. Kansas has a few that are 150-foot street drags and stuff like that. So it's real bare, bad asphalt stuff. So you need the most sticky tire that you can get because, yes, they're not these big not yet, it's coming, but they're not these big screw blown Hemis like they are in these cars, but some of them are, and you're seeing that this year where some of these small tire cars are 3,000 and 4,000 horsepower and they're trying to run the same setup on that baby tire.
How can they do that? How can that hold?
Traction control and EFI has come a long way.
Traction control, that's legal?
Yeah,
not in our sport. That's called cheat.
We don't have rules like that.
It's called cheat. But still, think about that though. Taking that big tire, I see how the big tire holds 4,000 horsepower, but I don't see how you'd ever get 3,000 hold on that damn thing.
So, like with Kyle, he's using all of his horsepower the minute he lets go of the button almost all the way down the track. The small tire guys will use 1 second of that power on the big end. The rest of it's barely bringing the power in.
So you're gradually bringing it. So you are basically full power once you launch. Is that correct?
No, we do manage timing going down the track. We probably see full timing and full fuel at roughly probably 2.5
seconds of the fourth. And you run a pass in how long?
5.4.
5.4. So about halfway through you're getting.
Yeah. So for us, we have a lot of trouble early on, what we call the shake zones, roughly 1.2 to 1.6. So we do have to pull timing and be pretty careful right around there to get down the track. But after that, and we get it in high gear, it's full bore timing, full bore fuel, and it's eating.
Okay, we got I guess we're going to call it a comment coming across the chat line real quick. Since the chat line's over, I can't see it. Josh is texting it to me. But Todd says, Kyle needs someone to scuff those tires in for him. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Todd. I'm going to do it before you're going to do it. Okay. I got the privilege of getting in the car here on Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was, that I got inside the car and put the hood down on it and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, it's pretty cool inside there. And I'm not sure I'm ready for 4,000 horsepower though either. But I think I'm ready for 1,000 though. And just a quick burnout's all I want. Just,
put a little throttle stop on.
Yeah.
For you,
exactly. Keep me safe. Don't let me get out of control
right?
from that part. So Todd, I appreciate what you're saying. I'll get you on the list, but I hate to tell you, Todd, you're probably way back on the list from that part too. So
how many mile an hour is that?
For us in the quarter mile, 263 mile an hour is what we've been.
sounds like me going to work.
So you like your history. So you started running these cars about 3 years ago,
Yep.
and you really had no prior drag racing experience.
Nope.
You just pretty much got in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
And
that kid
took
still
it
got
on.
blows me
So-
away.
So the first time you got in the thing and went 260 mile an hour with really no previous race experience, I mean, what was that like?
Well, luckily, so to acquire your license, it is a process. You know, you have to make 6
Mhm.
laps, gradually getting quicker. So for us, the first couple were really just a 60, 100-foot launch. You know, to kind of get a feel for it.
So it's
you-
NHRA, they're people there watching that
so you have to have other drivers sign off on them. So
is what you do. Okay.
Yep. So like I said, we went to Great Bend a lot. We had a great relationship with them, and they allowed us to kind of come up and work in between events. And then, you know, obviously with Dad's experience, he made this thing. You know, it wasn't making 4,000 horsepower when I was licensing. You know, it was a tamed down dog in comparison.
Yeah,
But
you have to get used to it. And stuff
you know,
to get
so yeah, I'd say the first 10 laps were probably not real pretty by any means, but you know, I think for me a lot, I've been able to watch a lot of cars go down the track, and I just think that helps a lot. You know, and having your father as a guy that's done it for 30 years, you
Long
know,
time.
I mean, he was able to really get me prepared for a lot of things. And even there's things today that happen that him and I talk about, and we go, well, we didn't talk about this. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, here's the thing I'll tell you, because we were sitting at dinner last night, and I was sitting beside your dad, and he started pulling up pictures of old cars he drove and stuff and everything. And back in the late 80s when I was racing, it was Wichita International Raceway at the time. I remember that was your dad. I remember that car. I had no idea it was him. Then I didn't put 2 and 2 together till last night. But I was there at 81 at Wichita National Dragway when he was flying that thing down the track and didn't know it was him. So that's still amazing for you to go right into alcohol funny car and go.
Yeah, you know, it's been a progress. I'd say, you know, obviously the first year was just a lot of learning curves and me trying to keep it in the groove. But I feel like I'm getting better all the time, and some of these alcohol drivers are just so seasoned. You know, they're talking 20, 30 years, so I'm never going to catch them. But each year I get a better feel in the car, and just this thing throws you a curveball every time out.
So Nick, would you like to get in the alcohol funny car?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe just one time.
Yep.
One time. So anyway, now in your car, you only mainly do 8 though, right? In your car.
Yeah. Most of the small tire stuff anymore is all 8th mile.
And you do hardly any 8th mile.
Correct. All the NHRA events we attend are a quarter mile. There are some series, Midwest Drag Racing Series, Funny Car Chaos, that are based around the 8th mile. So we get a little bit of both. For us, this car is pretty much when we built it, my goal was to go run NHRA. So that's the rule package. But we'll jump over there and run some events in Midwest and Funny Car Chaos just to use it as a good testing opportunity. Now we'll leave it in NHRA trim.
See, this is something that blows me away. And I shouldn't say blow me away, but trying to fathom the car and you tuning and practicing, and even Alan brought up how that if a top fuel car company has a team has a bad weekend or whatever, they're calling the track on Monday to go practice and tune again. And it's just me on the outside, not knowing everything that goes inside your car and stuff like that. Is knowing, I guess, what changes the car not to get fast with the knowledge, the time. Is there adjustments? Is it fuel? Is it, see what I'm saying? What changes a car to where you got to get you see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough.
For us, it throws us the biggest curveball is the track conditions. it's amazing from day to day. We will see vast differences on a track where there's certain spots that the grip is better or worse.
Oh, really? Okay.
So like I said, for us,
you can't read that though, can you?
Some of the fuel guys have some pretty cool track technology to track some of that stuff. I mean, it's pretty expensive stuff, and the fuel guys have a person that is dedicated to monitoring the track, the conditions, and everything like that. So at that level, that's pretty important. We do kind of try to go off what we see some of the fuel guys are doing, but yeah, it's kind of go up there, walk the track.
Can't try to figure. Now you take temperatures of the track and all that.
Yeah, we monitor track temps throughout the weekend, and that's a big part for how much power we can apply early on versus not.
So what about you, Nick? Do you look at track temperature too?
Oh yeah, so I have an infrared sensor on the bottom of my car that picks up and reads track temp as I go down the track.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
Then we got digital torque meters that we can walk the track, and most of the fuel guys have them too. And you stand on them; it's got a big torque wrench on it, and it's got a pad underneath it. And it'll tell you how much bite the track has, and you can walk the track every 20 feet, 10 feet, whatever your program is set up to do, and then it'll tell you a torque reading all the way down the track. So it gives you a little better idea of what the track's going to do or hold.
So you walk the whole track?
Sometimes, yeah.
You?
Early on in the weekend, I will, but typically for us, it's from the starting line to about 60 foot.
So not to interrupt, but that prep they put down on the track, they spray the whole track, even kind of the start line going forward, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then how often do they put more of it down?
NHRA, it kind of varies on like I said, they got some people that are really smart and they monitor some of that, and they will even scrape the first 60 foot of a racetrack several times a weekend, because you'll have lots of rubber built up. If you have 500-600 cars making passes every day.
So does the rubber help it or hurt it?
Too much rubber hurts it.
Does hurt you.
Yeah, that really for us, we like a track that has minimal rubber, because what happens when you get too much rubber built up, it becomes squishy, and it's hard to apply power to squishy rubber. So the thinner the layer of rubber seems to give you a little bit more grip. It's tighter. So but most of the NHRA tracks are very, very very good, and they do a good job, kind of deciding what they need to do. Do they need to spray it? Do they need to drag it? Do they need to scrape it?
So how often do you say you only walk at the first couple, but how often do you walk your track? You ever pass?
We'll do it a lot more because in the no prep stuff, the track is constantly changing. It's a moving target every pass. You'll never get a pass where, it was the same. You think sometimes it gets better. Well, anymore it gets worse. You got so many people using different traction compounds or different this or that or the other, or different theories on how they're going to do stuff, and they'll either remove the rubber from the line or add too much. So every pass for us usually is a different scenario. We can't usually just take a tune-up and build from there. We're constantly moving.
Okay, so do you use some kind of a traction compound on your tire when you do a burnout?
Nope.
Water only?
Water only.
Is that not legal for you to use, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just your preference.
Yeah,
what you do.
It's just what they do most of the time in the racing we do is just water type.
But you use this stuff called devil's glue, right?
We do, yeah.
Inside joke there, Nick makes devil's glue, correct?
Yep. That's mine.
That's why we sent them. I told you those other guys were down this aisle, this aisle right over here. They were looking for you.
There's a few.
Okay, so let's switch gears to more exciting stuff we've seen here at PRI. The crowds have been phenomenal. That's probably, I think, the best attendance that I've seen the time we've been here.
It's been really good. It's definitely up.
So what are the new and exciting things do you get to see? I mean, from that part, would you pick up on? What's something we can tell the listeners what's new? I'm going to throw out the Tony Stewart announcement.
Yeah. I think we were talking a couple nights before that. I think we all seen that one coming. But yeah, Tony Stewart is now taking Leah Pruitt's spot in the.
What do you think about
that? I think it's pretty neat. He raced in a field drag or top alcohol dragster basically all year last year. Finished second nationally in the points.
Did he? I didn't know that. He finished second, huh?
Yeah. So he, and honestly, before he even got his A fuel license, he had made I think a handful of passes in Leah's top fuel car. But let's be honest, Tony's a driver. I think you could hand him the keys to a lot of things, and he's going to be able to drive it.
He'd
So
take it to the front. That's for sure.
So I it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how he handles it. That team's a proven team. They won a lot of races, and I really felt like they started to get their stride at the end of last year. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting from a weight standpoint. Obviously, Tony's probably a little bit heavier than Leah. It'll be interesting how that affects the balance of the car and just how it works.
So really, weight of a driver is going to affect that rail, huh?
Yeah, obviously he's heavier, so they're probably going to have to move some weight around. And she drives a canopy car, which is naturally 30 to 40 pounds heavier than a non-canopy car.
What do you mean by that? She's in a shell.
Yep.
Why would someone want to go in the shell and not be in the shell?
I think obviously the shell is a protectant deal.
Makes sense.
We've had some, several years ago there was some issues with a wing breaking off and catching a driver, and it was a really bad deal. So that's where the canopy come from. But I think just comfort level. I got some guys that I'll use Doug Coletta. Doug Coletta, up until the start of this year, had never drove a canopy car. They put him in a canopy car and honestly struggled all year. He wrecked that. They put him in a non-canopy car, and he went out and won the last 3 of 6 races. So I just think just a lot of driver preference. I think obviously canopy car is safer.
I would think so too. Okay. And then we had a couple other announcements other than this new no prep tire. Hoosier made a couple other huge announcements, Nick, right?
Yeah, they did. So they've got a contract with the FIA for their European rallycross. Of course, we've got our new asphalt oval late model tire, the ST1, ST2, and ST3.
We've interviewed several of the late model drivers. It's amazing how much different they are. One's just strictly asphalt. One other one was dirt and asphalt and stuff too. So it was kind of fun to hear their different sides of the stories. But I still was blown away how all those drivers, the prep's about the same, getting ready is about the same, the amount of hours you spend is about the same, all that kind of stuff. And what else, guys? What else would we tell our listeners what we picked up on here at PRI? Nick, anything else you saw new, fancy?
There were some cool new cylinder head technology and developments from BTR, which is our distributors on the small block LS platform and LT platform, which is kind of a big thing for us. They got some new canted valve heads that they took me over and showed us. That was pretty cool. Aeromotive, and was working with Petronics. They kind of acquired each other, and they're picking up a few more brands. There's a lot of new stuff coming, and it's moving to a new location, which will be better for a lot of people, including us. So that's pretty neat. A lot of neat stuff, really.
It's cool. I see that here the simulator they're running, and everybody that's listening, Nick Roberts is a drag racer. I've got proof that he's got a little dirt track in him because I got proof of him sitting on a simulator, even driving it. So don't let him kid yourself that he's not he hates the dirt and he just wants to drag, because I caught him red-handed.
I know he's trying to do it when nobody's looking.
Yeah. Dude, I can't be the worst at it. I mean, geez.
Me and Josh Pfeiffer, who hits the wall quickest. So we've already talked about that too. So this little guy over here has been over here about 6 times already today. He's trying to get that. We're giving away the $300 gift certificate today, and we got a fast time of 17:085.
No, we're at 16:08.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, up over there. I missed it. 16:8. So. Anyway, it looks like he got mad and took off. Oh, yeah, he's mad. He couldn't get it, so he's going to try again. He's mad. So if you want to get on the simulator, come check that out. Come over and check out our simulator and see if you can get on there and win. We've had a lot of fun with that simulator. I can't believe how much it's run and gone and everything else.
We've probably put 10,000 laps on that sucker this week so far. But
I bet there's been more than that. And you turn it on to Bristol today, right?
Yeah, we're Bristol today. So we've been at Eldora. Now we're at Bristol. Bristol.
No dirt, yeah. Dirt.
Dirt.
That's what that is.
But I'll tell you what I like to do on that thing when nobody's looking is I like to fire up a road course and maybe like a Trans Am car or something and get them paddle shifters working and turn some laps on that, man. That's a lot of fun. We don't get a lot of road racing stuff around where we're at, but that's always been kind of a bucket list item for me is to do a little bit of road racing.
We had the one gal from Hoosier, the Hoosier Hero driver. She was a road course driver.
Yeah, and her vet.
Well, not her.
Tracy Gadu.
She does a hill climb and all that kind of stuff. We had the other gal that actually, one of the first ones we interviewed, that also drove the road course on asphalt.
I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, I remember.
So that's what I like about those drivers. Just all different makes. I shouldn't say makes, but different types of racing they all did and stuff too. And to get nominated for that's pretty huge. So
Yep.
Okay, gentlemen, what else we got on the bucket list here that we got to fix up, get done, whatever here while we're here at PRI?
Well, we've got a lot of looking to do today. It's been a pretty busy week so far. I really haven't had much of a chance to venture too far from our little general area here other than going to see a few key people here and there. But we got some exciting things in the works, trying to put a few things together with some new vendors that we haven't had before. So everybody will have to stay tuned to that. And we'll let you know what we got going on.
I'm always looking for new stuff, new vendors that better take care of our racers and stuff too. Nick, anything else that you saw? Anything that
not really? It's kind of same thing. I've probably only seen a 16th of what is here. You know,
Mhm.
That's just hard to. So if you have never been to PRI, I'm telling you, it is so much fun. It's of course our booth is a lot of work and stuff too, keeping up with it and stuff. But to walk this thing, crazy. Have you walked much?
We've done a fair amount of walking, but I still don't feel like I've seen near as much as I probably should.
Well, the furthest I got away was someone had to have a walking taco yesterday.
They were pretty good.
Me and Kyle took off to go find those things, and I forgot that we're over there in the North 40 where that thing was at.
Yeah.
From that part. But you just don't fathom how big this place is and how much footage there is. And then you go over to the Colt Stadium, and it's full too with trailers and all kinds of stuff. And from that part. So anything you want to look at and see, it's right here at PRI. There's nothing.
Yep.
I don't know there's another show better than this show to see all the different types of racing and stuff too. And, years ago you'd hear people say, oh, there's more drag racing, or there's more of this or whatever. But I think this year there's a good variety of most everything that's here from that part. So anyway, gentlemen, what else can we talk about? We're going to have to cut this show short so we get back to work.
We may have to cut it a little bit short at least, but the food's been good.
Really? Did you hear that, Kyle?
I did. I'll second that.
All right, we'll second that too. So, well, anyway, everybody, we're going to cut it short because we only got things to do here at PRI. Thanks for everybody that watched us through the Thursday, Friday with all the Hoosier 24 hero drivers. We're going to go see what else we can find here today. We got just about everything done here in our booth we need to get done. Looks like we got Cody Williams is jumping on the simulator, see what he can do on the simulator, winning our $300 gift certificate here shortly, but he's going to have to get fast and take out, looks like Tyler up there at 16.8, that Bristol Motor Speedway. So, gentlemen, let's go finish up this week. Let's go see what else we can find out here. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you next Saturday. Me and Josh back in the studio at the big corner. And everybody have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you soon.